Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have shared the screen. Is it visible?
Actually, it was visible, but now it's not visible.
Okay. Let me share the screen. And
Yes.
once it is visible, then please let me know. Now it is visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's visible now.
Okay. So, hello everyone and welcome to, first of all, a very good morning to all. I myself, Mrs. Sneha Prakash Kshatriya from Sivri Crossroad MPS Secondary School, welcomes all of you in statewide online lectures of BMC. We are taking revision of whatever we have studied last year in 8th standard, in which we have completed lines, parallel lines, and all the chapters. Today we are going to see our next chapter, and that is quadrilaterals and its types. You are having construction also in 8th standard, but we are not supposed to see the construction part. What we exactly want, that is what are the types of quadrilaterals, what are quadrilaterals and all. So as if you can see in the first here, there are types of quadrilaterals which is given to you, and that we are going to learn here. Okay, so before quadrilaterals, what is the first important uh, part which we have to learn, and that is polygon. Let us first understand what is polygon. First you have to learn what is about the polygon. Polygons, a simple closed curve made up of only line segment, is called a polygon. A simple closed curve. Okay, closed curve means what? It is closed from all the sides and it is made up of side. It is not made up of any circle or ellipse or hyperbola type. Okay, it is not having a circular shape or different shape. You are going to see about closed curve which is completed by using sides, segments. That is called as polygon. So there are curves that are polygon. Whatever the curves are there that we consider as polygon, like this. These are different types of curves which we consider as polygon. It should not be in the proper form that it should be a square only or a triangle or a rectangle like this. They may be anything. If you randomly join some lines also, that also you can say that it is a polygon, curved polygon. And what are the curves that are not polygon? See, like this, I have drawn here some lines, random lines is there, that are not called as polygon. You can see here also. Now this is a complete line, but it has some gap, it is not completed. So what happens? This is not a polygon because it should be closed and it should be made up of line segments only. It should not be a curve shape. So this is what the polygons, which are simple closed curves made up of only line segments, and which we can consider as polygons and which we cannot consider as polygon. The classification or the types we can see here. Now we can see the classification of polygons. Polygons means what? Poly means many and gon means sides. Many sides, if you add, after that adding that, what you get, whatever kind of figure you get, that is called as polygons. Okay, many, multiple. Now from basic we will start. If we take two lines, there we cannot form a closed figure. So we minimum polygon starts with three lines. See, using three lines we can form a triangle. If we join three lines, then we get a triangle. If we join four lines, we get a quadrilateral. If we join four lines, then we get a quadrilateral. If we join five lines, one line I am adding. Okay, 3, 4, now 5. If I join 5 lines, then it is called as pentagon. Okay, after pentagon, if I add one more segment to it and form like this structure, that is called as hexagon. Then Again, 6 lines is hexagon, 7 lines is heptagon, 8 lines octagon, 9 lines nonagon, and 10 lines decagon. Now, these are the closed curves or minimum 10 up to 10 lines, whatever the closed curves are called, that I have shown you here. After 10 line, you can draw 11 line also. 11, 12, 13, how many lines do you want to draw, you can draw. Now, if you see clearly the decagon, it is near about a circular shape. It shows you a little bit circular shape. So if you add multiple lines, small multiple lines, after some time, it will go in a particular circular shape. It will come in your circle shape. So this is what the polygon. So circle is also a polygon, but if it is made up of lines, then it becomes a polygon, but it is very, very big and nasty. So what are polygons? Poly means many and gons means sides. So multiple sides when add together to form a closed figure, then it is called as polygons. So first is triangle that we have completed. Second is quadrilateral, and that we are going to see today. So triangle we have completed about this, and we are going to see the quadrilaterals. Okay. Now, so here we complete the classification of polygons. So what is the next important part for your quadrilateral, and that is diagonals. What is a diagonal? A diagonal is line segment connecting two non-consecutive vertices of polygon. Non-consecutive. Consecutive means the points which come one after one. Okay, but what we want non-consecutive, means we don't have to add the next point. We have to add we have to take a line which is non-consecutive, which is after one point. So you can see here in this is what here 5 lines are there. So this becomes your pentagon. 5 lines, pentagon. So what is the diagonal here? Exactly. After this, the point is joined here. Okay, these points are taking here. Now, this is one point, then this is second point. So these points we can say they are consecutive. This point and this point are consecutive, but this point and this point are non-consecutive, because after one point you are going to keep the third point and you draw a line. This is called as the diagonal. Okay, so here we can see now this is ABCD given to you, quadrilateral. Now see A, then B, then C and D, like this. Now A after B is consecutive, B after D is consecutive, and D after C is consecutive. B and C are non-consecutive. So we draw a line between B and C. So this becomes your diagonal. Similarly here also, see here B and E. B, C is consecutive terms. You can draw here also line. You can draw B and D also. We can take a pen and I can draw here a line between B and D. This is also a diagonal because it is non-consecutive. They are non-consecutive. We can draw from here to F also, or we can draw from A to D also. We can draw from C to F also. We can draw from A to E also. So multiple diagonals can be drawn. Once by using one point, whatever the consecutive points are there, remove that points and draw multiple lines from that point. So as your figure gets extended, according to that, your diagonals will get extra. Okay. So, and here also, here is also again a closed figure, that is ABCD. What are these closed figures we are going to see? Okay. What are these closed figures that we are going to see? First, what is the basic thing? What is polygon? That is very important to you to understand, because whatever the quadrilateral is there, it is made up of polygons only. Okay. And what is diagonals? Diagonals is very important because all in your quadrilateral chapter, it is depends upon your diagonal part. Okay. So here I have noted down a sentence below. In given figure, CB, BE and BC are diagonal of the given polygon. See here, CB, BE and BC. These three are the different diagonals of the given polygon. Whatever the polygon is there, they are the diagonals of that given polygon. Okay. Now next. There is again types between regular and irregular polygons. Okay. What are regular polygons? A regular polygon has both equal sides and equal angles. Whatever the polygons we have seen, if they are having equal sides and equal angles, then it is called a regular polygon. And what is irregular polygon? If they do not have the same equal sides and equal angles, then it is called as irregular polygon. So by using definition, we cannot understand, we will see the structures. See here. Regular polygons and irregular polygons. You can see there clearly that in regular polygons, triangle is there, pentagon is there, hexagon is there, heptagon is there. But if you see in irregular polygons, you can see there is also a triangle, but it is different in size. It is different in size. But what is said in regular polygons, here, see here, you can see the definition also. A regular polygon has both equal sides and equal angles. Whatever the sides and angles are there, they should be same of regular polygons. Whatever the triangle we are drawing, their triangles should be in same sides. Whatever the sides are there, whatever the angles are there, they should be same. If we are drawing the pentagon, okay, if you are drawing the pentagon, then in pentagon also, whatever the sides are there and the angles between them, whatever the angles between them they are formed, they should be same. And that if we can see in regular polygons, we have taken here 3 sides, 4, 5 sides, 7 sides, 9 sides. But their side is different, their angles are different, they are drawn in very random shapes. Okay, and this is regular polygons with odd numbers. Above there is odd numbers, below there is with even numbers. Okay, the square is there, this is hexagon is there, and like this. I guess it is heptagon and nonagon. So like this 10 sides, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So here it is square. You can see that all the sides and all the angles are same. And whatever you can see in regular polygon, it goes in different size. The length is greater here. So this is not a regular polygon because it is having different sides and different angles. Randomly some pictures are drawing there. So that becomes your irregular polygon. And what is your regular polygon? That the regular polygon has both equal sides and equal angles. That is very, very important thing we have to learn here about the polygons. Okay, now let us come to our point, and that is quadrilateral. What do you mean by a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is any shape with 4 sides. Okay? Any shape with 4 sides. The word quadrilateral comes from Latin word quadri means a variant of 4 and lateral means sides. Okay, it is a quadrilateral came from a Latin word which is divided in 2 parts. With quadri means variant of 4 means 4 sides. We are dealing with the 4 sides, not more than 4, not less than 4. And lateral means sides. So quadrilateral means a variant of 4 which deals with sides. Okay, so that is what your quadrilaterals. So what are the properties of quadrilaterals? So the first property is obviously with 4 sides. It is quadri means a variant of 4. So you are dealing with 4 sides. If 4 sides are there, then it will come with 4 angles. It will have 4 vertices and it will having one pair of diagonals. So we have seen the sides, angles, vertices, and the diagonal. Okay. So these are the properties of quadrilaterals, and we are going to see now the types of quadrilaterals. So what are the types of quadrilaterals? So first here it is given that is square, then it is rectangle, then parallelogram, then trapezoid, rhombus, and kite. So these are 6 types of quadrilaterals which we are going to see here one by one. So let us start with the rectangle. So what is rectangle? If all angles of quadrilateral are right angles, it is called a rectangle. All the angles of quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means what? A closed figure which is formed by 4 sides. And whatever the closed figure is there, if it is formed by 4 sides and all the angles of that 4 sides, if it is right angles means 90 degree, then that figure or that closed figure is called as rectangle. जो भी figure हमें मिलने वाली है, that figure will become your rectangle. You can see here that A, B, C, D is a closed figure where you can see that the distance between AB and DC is AA, which is same, and AD and CB is BB, which is same, and between A and C a diagonal is there. Similarly, we can draw one more diagonal between D and B. Okay, so the diagonals, 2 diagonals, there is one pair of diagonal. We have seen here the properties of quadrilaterals. The last property. The last property states that with one pair of diagonal. Here, this is very important that each and every quadrilateral, this part is common, that is with one pair of diagonal. All the parts are common. It is having 4 sides, it is having 4 angles, it is having 4 vertices. Also, it will having a pair of diagonals. So these are the properties of quadrilaterals which will come in each and every type of quadrilateral. Okay. So here it is again, we are here in quadrilateral. So here only one diagonal is there. We can draw the second diagonal also. We can take here a pen and we can draw here a diagonal like this. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे B तक वो क्या हो गई? वो diagonal. So from B and D we can draw a diagonal, and from A and C we can draw a diagonal, and we can name it also. Okay. So now what are the properties of rectangle? So the properties of rectangle are very important because whenever a closed figure or a quadrilateral is given, you have to identify that which type of quadrilateral it is. So for that purpose, you should know the properties of each and every quadrilateral, each and every. So after knowing the properties only, you can identify that what kind of quadrilateral it is, because at the very first page of your 9th standard it is given the properties, and from that properties you have to identify the which quadrilateral you want there. So if you can see, if you have the textbook of 9th standard, you can open the first page of quadrilateral chapter, and if you see there that these properties are also only written there, and you have, there is an empty box in which you have to fill up that which quadrilateral it is. Okay. So the very first it is opposite sides of rectangle are parallel and congruent. Whatever the opposite sides are there that are parallel and congruent. See above, in above figure you can see here AB and CD. AB and CD both are parallel lines and congruent. Congruent means what? Same, equal. Their sides are equal. Okay. So the first property is what? The opposite sides of rectangle are parallel and congruent. They are what? Congruent. But this is the second one. Diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. If you draw the diagonals, we have already drawn their two diagonals. So if you draw the diagonal, that the diagonals are also congruent. If you measure one diagonal, if AC is measured, if you measure AC, suppose it is 5 centimeter, and if you draw DB, and it will also come as 5 centimeter only. So the diagonals of rectangle are also congruent. Diagonals, and third property is diagonals of a rectangle bisects each other. Bisects each other means what? It divides the opposite angle into equal parts. Bisects means what? It divides the angle or the part into equal parts. Whatever the parts are there, they are what your equal. They are not different, they are your equal parts. Okay, so that bisects means what? It divides the each other in equal parts. So this is the very important property of rectangle, which you have to remember, and this only properties are given there in textbook, and from that you have to identify that which kind of quadrilateral is given to you. So this is what the property of rectangle. So the next one is square. So see here, a square means what? We have already learned all these things. We are going to revise so that you can understand it properly when the lecture started. Means whenever the ninth standard proper syllabus is going to start, at that time you must know all these things, so that it will become easy for you to solve the next exam chapter and all. So the second one is that is square. There is no any sequence in between that. This take first square and then rectangle. There are 6 types. They are random, so you can take any type at any time. So first I have taken rectangle, second I am taking that is square. So what is a square? If all sides and all angles of a quadrilateral are congruent, it is called a square. So what is a square? If all sides are same, all sides are same, and all angles are also same, all angles are also same, then it is called a square. All angles should be 90-degree only. All angles should also be of 90-degree. That is very important. I have If all sides and all angles are right angle of a quadrilateral are congruent, they are congruent, it is called a square. So ABCD here, it is again a closed figure, and here PQRS is also a closed figure. Now you can see in ABCD all the sides are same because the value given of each and every line, that is A. So A, all the sides are same, that is of length A. Okay. And in second figure, if you can see that PQRS, all the angles are same, 90-degree, 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 and 90-degree. So that is very important part in square, that the angles should be of right angle and all the sides should be same. Then it is called a square. So let us know it more by using its properties. So first property is diagonals are of equal length. That is, they are congruent. So whatever the diagonals we are drawing here, they are also of equal length. First we will see the properties of square, and then I will tell you the comparison between the rectangle and square. Okay. So diagonals are of equal length, that is, they are congruent, means they are congruent, they are same, and diagonals are also of equal length. If you draw the diagonal, that is AD and BC here, if you draw the diagonal AD and BC, you can see that the diagonal length is also same. Similarly here, if you draw the diagonal, that is PQ and RS, then you can see that they are also of equal length. Okay. So that is what your the first property of square. Second, Diagonals bisects each other. Again, the same property, diagonal bisects. Bisects means what? It divides the opposite angle into equal parts. Equal parts. Okay, if it is 90 degree and if you are drawing a diagonal over there, so the remaining parts will become of 45 and 45 degree. Let me draw here one. Okay, if I draw a line here like this, AD, this is your diagonal, and here D is your right angle, right? So if this diagonal is there, AD, at point D, it is right angle, then it divides the remaining two parts in 45 degrees and 45 degrees, like this. Both the angles will become of 45 degrees. So here like this, the property is that the diagonals bisects each other. The diagonals bisects each other. Third one, diagonals are perpendicular to each other. When we draw the diagonals, they are also what? Perpendicular to each other. Now see here, I'll again draw the diagonals here, AD, here BC. So if we draw like this, the diagonals are what? Here perpendicular over each other. All the diagonals are what? Perpendicular, because you are drawing the straight line. So what happens here? It cuts the diagonals. The diagonals intersect each other and they are what? Perpendicular to each other. Means the angles forms in between them. That is what here? 90 degree. You can clear here. So this is also a very important property of square. And after that, the last one, diagonal bisects the opposite angles. That is only the same, that it bisects the opposite angle. So this is what your square. Now, if you can see that there are many similarity between square and rectangle. Here also the property was there that diagonals are equal. In rectangle was also there that the diagonals are equal. They are congruent. This is also congruent, that is also congruent. Then it is all diagonals bisect each other, there also diagonals bisect each other. Here also power, they are perpendicular, there it is not given perpendicular, but it is also perpendicular over each other. Now what is the same difference between them? That is the all the sides of rectangle are not same. All the sides of rectangle are not same, and all the sides of given quadrilateral is same. Here you can see that opposite sides, here opposite sides of rectangle are parallel and congruent. They are parallel and congruent also. Opposite sides are congruent, and here in square all the sides are congruent. All the sides are congruent. This is the main and basic difference between rectangle. Otherwise there is not a such big difference between square and rectangle. Okay, so I think you have understood about rectangle and square. There are many similarity between rectangle and square, but the basic difference is that all the sides of rectangle are not same, and here in side what happens? All the sides are same. So same or equal or congruent you can say. So that this is what your square. Now what is rhombus? Okay, what is rhombus? If you see the figure clearly, it is, first we will see the definition. If all sides of quadrilateral are of equal length, means congruent, is called a rhombus. Only sides it is same. Okay, if all sides of a quadrilateral are of equal length or congruent, it is called a rhombus, but it is having different angles. It is having different angles. The angles are not same. What was this definition in square? If all sides and all angles of a quadrilateral are congruent, then it is called a square. And what is in rhombus? In rhombus, it is only the sides are congruent or are of equal length. Then it is called a rhombus. Now, if you see in first diagram, here all the sides are given S, 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 S. So all sides are equal. But if you see the angles, the only opposite angles are congruent. Here X and there X, it is congruent. And here Y and opposite angle, that is Y, that is congruent. So what is the difference between square and rhombus? Only their angle changes. Whatever the angle is there, that changes. And if you see that if we take square and if we move the square little bit from the below side in cross section, that becomes your rhombus. A slight change or slight, if we move from the base part, okay, only from the base part, either remove to left or right, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But if you slightly remove the moves aside the square part, it becomes a rhombus. Okay, so what is rhombus? If all sides of a quadrilateral are of equal length, it is called a rhombus. Now, what are the properties of rhombus? First, opposite angles are congruent. See here, we have seen here that XX in this diagram only, opposite angles are congruent. Here it is X, here it is X, here is also X. So the opposite angles, whatever the opposite angles are there, they are what? Congruent. Again, see here Y is there, here is Y. So this is also opposite angles. So this opposite angles are also congruent. Side is S, S, S and S. All the sides are same. But what is the difference between the angles? The opposite angles are same. Here also opposite angles are same. X and X, Y and Y. So this is the first property of rhombus. What is the second? Diagonal bisect opposite angles of a rhombus. Again, the same property. This is third time it is repeating. In rectangle also it was there, the diagonal bisects opposite angles. In square it was also there. Now in rhombus also. So it bisects this diagonals D1 and D2. Here two diagonals are there, AC and BD. So they bisects each other, means divides the rhombus in two equal parts. Divides the rhombus into equal parts, and opposite angle also divided in two equal parts. Whatever the AC is diagonal, whatever the angle at A is formed, it divides the angle in two equal parts. This is the property of rhombus. And the third one, diagonals bisect each other and they are perpendicular to each other. Again, the same thing, diagonal bisects each other and perpendicular. Here also, in square also we have seen it is perpendicular, and now in rhombus also it is what? Perpendicular to each other. Means the angle between the two diagonals at the center, whatever the point of intersection is there at the center, that point of intersections angle, how much angle it is formed? It is formed 90 degree, that is perpendicular to each other. So this is the property of rhombus. It is mostly equal to square, but it differs by its angles. Only the interior angles, opposite interior angles, they are what? Congruent. The sides are same, they bisect each other, they are perpendicular over each other, diagonals are perpendicular over each other. All the things are same with square and rhombus. Just the difference is what? About the angles. The interior angles are what? You are different. See here, I have given some examples over here. Whenever you are playing cards, at that time the one card name is there, and that is what your diamond. Okay, you are having spade, heart, diamond, and one more, that is okay, whatever it is, but the one card is there and we call it as diamond, and that diamond is what you are rhombus. Okay, and one more here, ring is given, that is also in what your rhombus shape. Cross square only, but it is slightly removed in cross section, so it is what your rhombus. So these are different examples you can see of rhombus. Now next, that is parallelogram. Okay, so what is parallelogram? A quadrilateral having opposite sides parallel is called a parallelogram. Opposite sides parallel and same. Opposite sides are parallel also and they are same also. The adjacent angles are supplementary. Whatever the adjacent angles, what are the adjacent angles? Means the angles formed at point A and D, that is supplementary. The angles formed at A and B, that is what? Supplementary. The angles formed at B and C, that is also supplementary. And the angles formed at D and C, that is also supplementary. Supplementary means what? The addition of those angles whose addition is 180 degree. Such angles whose addition is 180 degree, that angles are called as supplementary angles. So if you add any two adjacent angles, you don't have to add A and D, B and D. You have to add the adjacent. You can either add AD or AB. They are what you are supplementary. Means what? Their addition is how much? 180 degrees. So the main important part of parallelogram is what? That it is the opposite sides are parallel and same. Parallelogram, parallel. So you can link by like this also. That parallelogram opposite sides are parallel and same. The distance between AB and DC is B. If you see this figure clearly, the distance between AB and DC is B and B. And the distance between AD and BC, it is A and A. So opposite sides having same, so opposite sides are congruent and opposite sides are parallel. So this is very important thing to know about the parallelogram. So now let us see the properties of parallelogram. Here also first property is given that opposite angles are congruent. Whatever the opposite angles here are formed, that are what? Congruent. So what are the opposite angles? If you see the above diagram, in above diagram A and C are opposite angles, B and D are opposite angles. So here also that AC is congruent, means angle A and angle C are congruent, and angle B and angle D are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent. The second property is opposite sides are congruent. I have told you right now that in quadrilateral, this kind of quadrilateral, if opposite sides are parallel and congruent, then it is called as a parallelogram. So by using the properties, we have to identify what type of quadrilateral is given to us. And the third is diagonals bisects each other. Again, they bisects each other, means it divides the given the quadrilateral or the parallelogram in two equal parts. You can see the below diagram also that in that parallelogram, the opposite sides are parallel, you can see, and the distance between them, it is also given 6 inches, 6 inches, and the breadth is 4 inches and 4 inches, like this. So this is what your parallelogram. Okay, now let us see the trapezium. What is trapezium? If only one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is parallel, then it is called a trapezium. Only one pair is parallel. Okay, so this is very important, that if only one pair is parallel, then it is called a trapezium. In parallelogram, all the four sides, means they form two pairs. Okay, there are two pairs in parallelogram which are parallel to each other. But what happens in trapezium? Only one pair, up and down. It may be up and down or it may be sidewise. Whatever the lines are there, it is, if they are parallel, then it is called a trapezium. In a pairs of adjacent angles, only two are supplementary. So this is the only property of trapezium, that out of the four pairs, there are four pairs adjacent to each other. Only two are supplementary. Only two are supplementary. And which two are supplementary? That the angles which are formed inside the trapezium. See here, this is trapezium. I am showing here that which two angles are supplementary. This angle and this angle is supplementary. Supplementary means what? Their addition is how much? 180 degree. So if I denote here A, here B, here C, and D. This is a quadrilateral trapezium in which I have labeled here A, B, C, D, and AB is parallel to DC. Okay, AB is parallel to DC. This is given from given diagram. We can clearly say that AB is parallel to DC. And we know that if two lines are parallel, enough a transversal is intersects. If transversal goes from two parallel lines, then whatever the angles formed inside the transversal of one side, they are supplementary. So if we consider that AB is parallel to DC and this AD is transversal, then this is what your interior angle. This is also an interior angle of same side. So addition of these two angles is how much? 180 degree. So the addition of these two angles is how much? 180 degrees. Similarly here also, BC, B and C. Angle B and angle C, if we add these two angles, their addition is also how much? 180 degrees. That are the angles which are formed inside the trapezium. So they have told that in trapezium, out of four pairs of adjacent angles, only two are supplementary. Only two angles are supplementary. That is forms up and down inside the trapezium. So this is the only property of trapezium. And last one which we are going to see, and that is kite. Everyone knows about kite. What is a kite? Which we fly in air during the Sankrant season, and that is only we are going to see here, because it is also a kind of quadrilateral. So if you see a kite properly, you can see that the above two sides it is smaller one and below two sides it is bigger one, because it is becomes easy when we fly the kite in air. So it goes up and up. Okay. So what is kite? If one diagonal is perpendicular bisector of the other diagonal, then the quadrilateral is called a kite. Perpendicular bisector. When we draw a kite, and if we draw the diagonals, okay, if when we draw the diagonals, and if it is perpendicular bisector, means what? It forms an angle of 90 degree, then that closed figure or the quadrilateral is called as kite. From properties we can get it more clear that what is kite. So the first is two pairs of adjacent sides are congruent. Two pairs of adjacent sides are congruent. As if we can see here in the diagram, it is completely shown that A, B, C, D is a is a kite, where we can see that AB and CB having the same sides, because only one line is drawn in between them. So what it shows that AB is congruent to CB. And here also, if you can see on the right side, that AD is congruent to CD, because there two lines are, means one pair or is adjacent pair is congruent. Okay. AB and AD are not congruent. AB and AD are not congruent. What are the congruent adjacent pairs? That is AB and CB. Here in right side, AD and CD, they are two congruent. And here we can see that AC is perpendicular over BD. The diagonal AC is perpendicular over the diagonal AC is perpendicular over the diagonal BD. So here it is forms a right angle, the perpendicular bisector of each other. So BD is diagonal, AC is also diagonal and they are what? Perpendicular, and here AB and the distance BC, they are same, because here you can see it is denoted in diagram, and here AD and CD, they are same. These two are also same. And what is the second property? One pair of opposite angles is congruent. One pair of opposite angles is congruent. Any one pair. Okay. This BD, let me take a spotlight. Okay. This B and D angle and A and C angle, from that any one pair is congruent. Either BD it will be congruent, or AC it will be congruent. So here also we can see that the distance, this is X, this is X, this is X. Here all the distance between this part is same. All the distance, this is same, but this distance of kite, it is double the side. Either this side, either this side, or either this side. Whatever side you can take, this distance, whatever this distance is there, it is twice X. This distance is how much? Twice X. About the diagonal I am saying. These are the two diagonals. In that diagonals, if they bisect each other here at 90 degree, this distance and this distance become same, because they are perpendicular bisector. Means what? Whatever the diagonal is there, it divides the diagonal in two equal parts. This becomes X, this becomes X. Same value comes to this part, that is also X, and whatever the remaining part from here to here, that is your twice X. Means whatever here X is there or here value is there, double the value of this part is there in. Just a moment.